The best way to get better at programming is to practice. And in this example, we're going to start saving serialized data to a file. As always, these files are available for download using the link provided below in the description. We'll pause for a couple seconds so you can download that file, and then you can follow along with us. All right, so let's get started. So we've got several things that we have to do. When we write a serialized data, we write as binary data, not text data, which means that our buffered writer isn't going to work for us. So what's our solution? Well, we need to open up a stream writer. So I'm going to choose File, Output Stream. I'm going to call this FOS for File Output Stream equals null. And we've seen this example where we're doing it before. Now, anytime we do file IO, we obviously need a try catch. So we're going to do try, and this is going to seem real familiar. We're going to do the catch in just a minute. We'll say FOS equals new file output stream. Here we're going to give it a name of our file. This is just going to be a string, so I'm going to specify data.ser. That's just because we're using serialized data. But once again, we're not appending it, so the append parameter is false. So there's one other thing we're going to need, which is a object output stream. We're going to call this OOS for object output stream. Once again, that's going to also equal null. ROOS is going to equal new, obviously, object output stream. And then we need to pass in the file output stream to it. So we've seen before we used an anonymous object. Here it's a named object, so you can just kind of see how that's working. This allows us to simply open up our file, get it ready to write. It knows how we're going to handle objects. So I'm going to come down here, say OOS.writeObject. What object am I going to write? Well, I'm going to write my account info, AI. That was already created for us. So what happens is this method says, ooh, I need to write this object. Wait a second, this object is serializable. Because it's serializable, it will work. If it was not serializable, it wouldn't. But it then goes and writes the object for us. Makes it very, very simple for us to do. Once this is done, I'm done. I don't have to do anything else. So I'm going to come down here and do a catch. This is going to be an IO exception, IOE. Inside of here, I would typically do something, but this is all I need to do, technically. Now, I do want to have that finally because I need to close my object output stream and my file output stream. So I'm going to come over here and say finally. Inside of here, remember, this has to be a try catch. This is what happens if the file wasn't open. So I'm going to say OOS.close, and then I'm going to say FOS.close. You might ask, okay, well, why am I doing it in that order? It's backwards from the way I open it, and that's absolutely correct. I'm going to close them in the reverse order that I open them up. Okay, so I'm going to close the output stream, then close the file stream. With this, I'm going to have my catch. What am I catching? IO exception. We'll give it the same name, and we're not going to do anything with it because the biggest chance of having an exception when we close something is because it wasn't open, in which case we don't worry about it. All right, that's literally all we have to do. I'm going to save this and run this just real quick. And it looks like nothing happened, right? If you look down the terminal window, nothing happened there. But if we come over here, we'll see a data.ser. That's the file we created. And right now, this is not a text file, so it says, ooh, are you sure you want to open this? Or is there like another thing to open it with? Yeah, we're going to open it. The built-in text editor. And you can see that it's got some kind of weird symbols with it as well as some info that we're looking for. This is mostly because it's a lot of text data, but it has everything we need to know about the account information and all the information that's being displayed. In our case, the name and the account number. Remember, Social Security number was not displayed. Why? Well, simply because it was set as transient and therefore was protected data and not serialized. So this is real quickly how you write data that's been serialized as an object to a file output stream. This way you don't have to worry about how do you encode the data, set it up, etc. Makes it just a lot easier for doing simple data manipulation and data transfer. Hopefully this was helpful to you. If so, give the video a like and consider subscribing so you can see more videos on how to get better at programming.